throughout my life, I've developed really close relationships with people. And in a relationship, you get the ups, downs, lefts, rights, diagonals, etc. You get all the different stuff that people tell you. The good, the bad, the ugly, the interesting, the... You didn't have to tell me that, but sure. That type of stuff, you know? I'm like an emotional support dog for some people. I mean, if this were a job interview and I were asked, if you were an animal, what kind of animal would you be? Which I was asked that in an interview for Dick's Sporting Goods. I told him I didn't have an answer for that. I just didn't. I said, I don't know. There's a lot of cool animals out there. Side note, anyway. So basically, I'm an emotional support dog for a lot of people, and I don't know why. I'm an empathetic person by nature. But at the same time, I want people to get out of my way so I can get some stuff done. Listen, I want to be the one that messes this life up. I don't need you in my way. It's kind of a joke, right? At the same time, you want it done? Get out of my way. So in taking all that stuff, intake, I add it to whatever I'm going through, good, bad, ugly, etc., diagonal, whatever, you know. And so there's only so much I can handle, and I've noticed that, not always, but there's times where, who am I going to talk to? Who am I going to say this to? You know, who's my me? Yeah, dude. Who's my me? Sounds like something I would have said when I did acid back in the day. Just like, dude, who's my me? Who's my me? Who's my me? Bro, this stuff's great, right? Who's my me? No, but really, who's my me? You get what I'm saying? I have a me. That's not me. I have a who's my me. This is kind of fun just to say. So I have a who's my me. Right? I have various who's my me. Who's my me's. Me's, plural. I have a bunch of them. But it's not always convenient for me to puke all my emotions off when they got stuff going on. Their life is already a V8 commercial plus 10, you know? And everybody's is, you know? I'm not knocking therapy or anything like that, but sometimes you got to just pay to go spill your guts to somebody or just make a random video or a notebook. You know, back in the day, I used to just write down everything, pretty much emo kid style. You know, cut here. Yeah, but because it would help me get it out of here. Because there's so much in here, there's so much going in, and none of it makes sense, and a lot of it's just useless. All right, but I do listen to people, and I try to just give my own advice, my opinion, my experience, etc. I try to help whatever way possible. I make a lot of mistakes helping people. Hopefully I learn from them, because then none of them are mistakes. The only mistake you can learn, the only mistake you ever make is not learning from your mistakes. That one was free. You didn't even have to buy Chinese food and get a cookie for that one. But, long story short, I can only intake so much, right? On top of whatever I have. Like, I don't even know where my tank is at. I lost the light that tells you that you're running low or whatever. It doesn't exist. Running low or full, whatever, the gauge. It doesn't really exist much anymore. And the result is burnout. And I don't want to not be there for people, but I got to be there for myself. And sometimes I just got to shut the world out, right? But I can only take in so much. And it's not like I'm going and telling other people's problems to other people. Like I'm holding it in. And it has helped me. This is me trying to take positive out of it, but it's reality, though, for me. Taking in other people's crap, listening to them, either on purpose or by divine appointment, such as I was going to the store to go buy mouthwash. On my way to the store, I see so-and-so who I haven't seen in a while. And it's 11 degrees outside. And I stop and give them a hug. And they're going really close to where I was going anyway, so I give them the ride. I'm going that direction anyway, going my way. And so I do that. But then that turns into bringing them to work because it's cold out. I mean, they were going to go anyway. I just happened to come across and be the Good Samaritan, right? Wasn't planning on it. What I planned, God was like, poof. And I was like, all right, cool, God. I'm getting frustrated, though. I don't know if the exact reason I'm getting frustrated is because I'm not able to do what I wanted to do right now. It's not about me. But every now and then, like a roof over my head, food on the table, washing my laundry when I run out of socks and underwear, maybe part of the day could be about me, which would be like being an adulting. But, you know, the chain of events that I planned turns into doing things for other people that I offered. You know, I wouldn't have said yes if I didn't want to do it. I might have said I don't want to do it, but I'm still going to do it. Just because I say I don't want to do it doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. But I'm pretty good at being pretty bad at holding that in, being like, I don't want to do it. All right, come on, let's just do it. Let's do it right now. Let's get it done. We're going to do it. We're going to do it right. All right, I don't even care. We're going to do it right now. I mean, not the addict in me like I want it now, but just like, all right, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it. We're going to do it right. We're going to do it right now. Let's get it done. I don't care how long it takes. Let's do it. Nike, just do it. Let's just do it. Just do it. Don't try. Just do it. So it's just like I make plans to do responsible adulting things. Which, by the way, for instance, this exact example is something that I was trying to do for myself 3 weeks ago, which was like do my laundry. This past week, I actually, and I'm okay with this. I'll wear a pair of pants 2 weeks in a row, not even care. But I wasn't able to do my laundry the last 2 weeks because I helped other people. It doesn't take long to do laundry. You know, it doesn't take long to do some housework, some random stuff like that. Just little things. But they add up over time. You know, just a penny a day. You could probably support some kid in friggin' Uganda, or I like to say, the prison version. For 16 cents a day, you can provide a prisoner with a spork and a packet of ramen noodles. We'll send you a mugshot and a friggin' stamped envelope with a correspondence address from your inmate. You get what I'm saying? You know, a little bit can go a long way, but it adds up over time. So going back to the emotions, little by little, you know, I run into this person. They spill their guts to me for some reason. And then a few days down the road, few hours down the road, whatever, chain of events, dominoes, click, clack to the next one. And then it's like this other person all of a sudden reaches out over whatever the issue is. And then later on down the road, another person, another one. And it adds up. And eventually I don't know my tank is full. Or by the time I'm showing verbally or maxed out and I am showing, like there's probably definitely warning signs prior to me acknowledging them that I don't see or recognize way ahead of time. Even though when I notice, it's too late, all right? You know what I mean? Like when they say, like if they're telling you the end of the world is happening and you're seeing it on the news, it's too late, you know? It's like the people who were really prepared for whatever, they got out months ago. Same scenario with like my emotions thing. When I recognize that I'm at the top of the tank, I've probably already been there for a while. And I have to be able to listen to other people when they say, bro, bro, bro. And I got to be like, bro. You know? And so it has helped me give it to God. In a way, I'd say at first, like, I was like, who's my me? Like, that's great. All these people reach out to me. That's great. And it is great because it didn't used to be like that. It used to be I was the person that would get pushed to the side. A lot of people would like to talk to me about all sorts of stuff, but it was like meaningless stuff, you know, especially when I was in active addiction. It was just really one big rabbit trail, rabbit hole. It was fun. Been there, done that, got the felonies. In fact, my last mugshot, I wasn't even wearing a t-shirt. They didn't even give me a t-shirt. Actually, they gave me a t-shirt when I went to jail. They said, "Where's your shirt?" Kind of like that. Give him a shirt. Thank you. You know, but at first it was kind of just like, who's my me? And I felt like I didn't have anybody to talk to. And then I realized over time that I have a lot of people I can talk to, that I can express these things to. But it's not always convenient for them. You know, just because I want to talk at 2 a.m. doesn't mean that so-and-so who just worked a 16-hour shift wants to talk to me after they just got done at 2 a.m. and vice versa. So over time, I realized that it's a good thing that I give it to God. I wish I did it more, but I do it more than I used to. So progress, not perfection, right? And so I got used to giving it to God more frequently so my tank didn't get full. It doesn't mean my tank doesn't get overflowingly full anymore. It means that I have a pressure gauge, like a pressure canner or something like that. You put the weight on it, and so once the pressure gets so high, it has a release valve. But you turn that heat up, that release valve is going to go off quicker, you know? And so it's a learning process for me. I have definitely learned that when life gives you lemons, you can't make lemonade because it didn't give you water or sucrose or maybe some alternative to sugar for all you health nuts. So whoever's told you that you can make lemonade when life gives you lemons, you better hope in your cabinet you have sugar and water too, and whatever else you want to put into it, because you can only make lemon juice with lemons. So take that lemon juice when life gives you lemons and squirt that person in the eye that told you that you can make lemons when life gives you lemons. Anyway, the pressure release valve for me gets released more frequently, but not frequently enough. And the lesson that I am getting from it, I am repeating myself, is that I can give it to God. Why aren't these people giving it to God? You know, is God giving me them? Is God giving them me? Is that them giving it to God? Because God provides us with doctors, you know, unless you're maybe a Scientologist and you don't believe in that, whatever. You know, so God provides us with things that maybe solutions, I guess I can say, with solutions that we might not be aware of. They're probably right in front of our face. But if we form a relationship with God, we'll recognize when they're in front of our face more often than when they're not. So in order to see the handiwork of God. We've got to continually get to know God. We will never fully comprehend God. And even if we think we do, we will get schooled, put in our place. Ask God for patience. Tell me how that one works out. These trials that we go through are like purification. It's like we're being refined. You gotta put like gold or silver or whatever it is to the fire in order for it to purify. The metal's gotta be like with the whatever it's called, the anvil, right? They're dudes making horseshoes and armor and stuff. And, they're getting the metal hot and they're whacking it. Then they're folding it, then they're whacking it and getting it heat or whatever the process is. Eventually, I'll kill you with this thing I just made. I just been hitting this thing for 2 weeks and I'm about to kill you with it. You know what I mean? They basically have a powerful weapon afterwards, or it's like some very strong armor or some horseshoes or whatever. Go watch A Knight's Tale or friggin' King Arthur or whatever, Monty Python or whatever. Go look for those people. They're in the movies. They're in real life too. Not as much anymore as they used to be, but they're there. They exist. They're real. Unlike Santa Claus. Anyway, so give it to God as frequently as possible when you have the ability and even when you don't want to. Don't look for the emotional. Do you have a peace about this? That's emotional. Because that's basically like, what makes you feel the best? Your brain has already pretty much told you what's right and wrong. Compare that to what God says in the Bible, and you won't be led astray. You might make mistakes, but at least you'll be making mistakes in the right direction. The only mistake you can make is not learning from your mistakes. And by the way, speaking of Santa Claus, side note, I will never lie to my kids. I don't have any kids. I won't ruin it for you and your kids. But the truth is, if you're telling your kids Santa Claus isn't real, because tomorrow's Christmas. Wait. The truth is, if you're telling your kids that Santa Claus is real, and apparently the average age for people to learn that Santa Claus isn't real is 13 years old. That is a long time of lying. It's not like you're just trying to give your kid incentive to go to sleep and shut up or be quiet in the backseat of the car on a road trip or something like, yo, go to sleep and I'll take you to Chuck E. Cheese tomorrow. You know what that is? That's what that is. If you didn't hear it, I farted. That's what it is. It's a lie straight from the bowels. I'm just going to tell them right off the rip, if I ever have kids. You really think some dude does a break-in and entry in the neighborhood? We got neighborhood watch signs up. And on Christmas, nobody calls the police because everybody's house is getting broken into. So not only does he Amber Heard us, he leaves us a present. He eats our food. And he breaks in while we're sleeping. Nobody uses their Second Amendment right. Out of everybody here in America, you can't tell me there's ain't no 1776, the South will rise again type people that saw mommy kissing Santa Claus and yeah, there's no way. He's either that good or he's not real. You be the judge, but he's not real. St. Nicholas was a real dude. Santa Claus